Hello everyone, I'm something from PRX. Today I'm gonna teach you how to play on Jett on Breeze. So basically, since Jett is duelist, like a duelist role in the Valorant, you can entry frag on Jett really easily because you have dash and smokes, and you have insane ultimate, which is calling bad knife. You can kill everyone with this ultimate, using by dash, updraft, and just click at headshots. So that's why Jett is, I guess it's not really the best duelist right now, but one of the best. So yeah. So on Jett right now you have dash, which is like you use this and you have 6 seconds to use this dash. Before, like you can activate dash and just go dash straight away, and after Riot nerf Jett, it's just become a bit big because right now you need to get some timing to dash for us inside, for example. You cannot just hold angle like this whole round and just dash away. So you must play with dash really smart, because you cannot activate just for fun, and you just cannot activate dash and do some bad stuff, for example, because after you peek and never use dash, you don't have this dash again. But like before, you just can peek and you have dash all the time. So right now, be careful, guys. Play smart with your ability, which is like dash. So basically, since you have dash like only 6 seconds and you have smoke only for 2 seconds, like before, you can dash into the side and you have smoke for 4 seconds. So you can just chilling in the smoke for like forever, you know, just wait. But now, if for example you wanna dash inside, you must use some flash, recon from your teammates. So you must call something, because if you just dash and never use some abilities from your teammates, it's gonna be, you guys can die for easy, I will say, because it's not that hard to kill you from like this spot. So a lot of angles to clear, and be smart with that. Yeah, use your teammates, boys. The second ability, call it updraft. So this ability can move you to the boxes. Yeah, lift you up to the boxes and some stuff. And also that's why Jett, it's also a bit good character, because you can just updraft there, for example, and hold like this. And also, since for example you playing on Breeze in attackers, you can use your smoke, updraft, and you can dodge your cypher trips and just dash inside by updraft and see whole enemies where everyone. And yeah, that's it. And also, when you play on Jett, you have one of the best ultimate in the game, because with this ultimate you can really easily kill everyone with some combo abilities. For example, like KO flash, you just peek and dash updraft, kill everyone. And the most important part on Jett, when you play with knives, you can kill one and you have, after kill you have reset your knives. So after you kill one, you get reset and you get again 5 knives. So you can, that's why you can kill easily. Like you can do ace, you can do 4 kills with these knives, for example on eco, and after this eco, the economy system on opponents gonna be like, they gonna be broke, you know, and you guys gonna be rich, because these Jett knives don't need money, right? So yeah, that's why it's the most powerful ultimate in the game. That's why. And also you can, guys, use your updraft with knives, combo with knives, because when you use updraft and fly, you don't have recoil with knives, so you can easily kill everyone at the high, you know. So dashes, you have, I guess, few varieties how to play on Jett in A, especially A main, for example. if you have second duelist who can go first, you can just absorb there and just try to play like this, just clear these angles for your teammates. And then, for example, you can just jump down, use your dash, and just try to get peek after Viper wall, I guess, because usually Viper wall put wall like here. And about variety, where to dash, actually it's not bad to dash, for example, there. Look at left side when you dashing to get some info, and then just push like this, even without some abilities. Just try to kill this guy who play from here. I think it's the most hardest part, how to play on Jett on defense and make some impact for your team. I think it depends how you wanna play. For example, I really like to go to the middle, try to get this space, because when you just walk there and so use recon there, you can easily dodge this and just try to get this space. Even you kill one, you can dash away or just try to kill one more, because for example, you kill one, right? Use your smoke and dash away. Yeah, if you use your smoke more better, I think you can survive from this situation. Just like this and just run away, you know? And yeah, if so I use recon there, also I like to go in elbow like this and try to get this angle and just maybe peek, maybe rotate, who knows, right? And it will take a lot of space. And for middle, that's it. And just try to play on Jett with op more, because especially on defense, I mean, you can play with Vandal on Jett, but I think it's more easily if you gonna play with op, because you just can take middle with your dash and just chill there forever. Even without dash, you can just smoke and go away, for example. Just hold like this and just run away. If you hit, if you get hit, if you kill, just it's easy to run away, even without smoking. And yeah, I guess that's it. It's all about how you wanna play on Jett and try to don't die, I guess. I think since Jett is mainly like first, how can I say, mainly main duelist, because not a lot of teams play with second duelist. I mean, if you are not PRX and ambitious to play with triple duelist sometimes. So basically, for your team, you just, for example, in attackers, you just must to take some space. Really, just must take some space, because for example, no way Cypher gonna take like middle like you really aggressively without any abilities and some stuff. And for example, like Viper, they just, I mean, they can do this, but it doesn't make sense, right? When they have Jett in your team. And when you guys play in attackers, especially in attackers, try to speak with your teammates more, because now it's really important to help you guys when you play on Jett. For example, some flash, some abilities, and just be more confident when you dash into the side. Even though, for example, first round you die, just try to do this like second round, third round. Just try to do this, and yeah, don't be like pushy, I would say, when you play on duel, especially on Jett. And guys, don't be scared when you play on duels, because it's really important for your team. And the most important thing, you need to practice more. And guys, if you enjoy my class, and that's it for this class. It's how I play on Jett. Thank you everyone, bye.